He somehow forgot about us yesterday. I didn't know that was possible. He's the freshly minted Hall of Famer, Sterling Sharpe, the former Packer wide receiver. How does that happen that you forget about us yesterday when you kept saying, hey, I'm there for you?
I was there for you in spirit.
Oh, you were? Yeah, now you're a Hall of Famer and blow us off.
No, I would never blow my guy off. You know what you are, Dan. You know.
I do
Don't
know.
make me say it, Dan.
Go ahead, say it.
No. Dan, do not make me say it.
Okay. What do you got on there? What are you wearing?
My brother's, our logo.
480.
84.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
The four is a little bigger.
Yes, that's what we wanted.
84, not 480.
Correct. That is, yeah. Keep up, Dan. Keep up. Okay.
Why did it take so long for you to get into the Hall of Fame?
I honestly don't know, and I don't think it took long enough. I think I could have waited another 200 years, Dan. I didn't play football to get into the Hall of Fame. I played football because I loved the game, and I wasn't waiting. Me and you played a lot of golf while I wasn't in the Hall of Fame back in the day. So I was just golfing my ball, enjoying myself.
Was there ever a point where you thought, I'm not going to get in?
No, there was never a point where I thought I would get in or wouldn't get in. I never thought about it. I never thought about it because, the thing is I played and I played really well for me. I enjoyed how I played, what I put on film, the people I played with, and that was enough for me. So I never, wanted to have an advocate for me to, like push the envelope or remind them that I'm out here. No, I just I did what I wanted to do, and I was enjoying being at the Hall of Fame in 2011 when my brother went.
Take me back to the injury.
Which part? The part that we found out in high school, and I could have played one play, or I could still be playing. The worst episode on the field was probably against the Atlanta Falcons, but I had 20, 30 episodes over the years based on, my vertebrae and my spine were getting real close together. Laying on the field, having Andre Rison make me laugh, and my friend, teammate from South Carolina, Brad Edwards, coming over to make sure I was okay. There's a lot of moving parts to my injury, Dan. And the thing is there was only two people that were happier than me when my career ended, and that was the two doctors that said I should never play football again.
Oh, wow. But if you played now, there's no technology that if you got this injury now would have enabled you to continue to play?
Well, the thing is my neck at the time it got fixed was probably stronger than anyone else's neck in the National Football League. But you're talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you have to ask yourself, am I willing to take that chance? Am I willing to go out there and have everything in this fusion? Do I want to put it to the test? I didn't. I did if I felt like I left something, then I probably would have tried to continue to play.
Oh boy.
But I didn't. I didn't leave anything in football. I didn't. I did what I wanted to do. A lot of people are having a hard time with that statement. I did what I wanted to do, which was just play, not play in a Super Bowl, not be a Hall of Famer, not be an all-pro player, not lead the league in said category. I just wanted to play. And I got to do that for 7 years, and that was good enough for me.
What was your first thoughts when you laid eyes on Brett Favre?
I had seen Mark Wilson, Randy Wright, Bud Keys, Mike Norseth, Mike Tomczak, Anthony Dilweg, Don Mikowski, and they were all really good friends of mine. They were all good players. They were in the National Football League. But when I first saw him, there was nothing that he did, said, or that would allow you to think that he was going to turn out to be what he turned out to be.
What do you mean by that?
He was just another guy. If you brought in a quarterback from Atlanta, you gave up whatever you gave up for. Okay. Mike Holmgren is our new coach. We got a new system. We got a bunch of new moving parts, and he is one of the new moving parts. So, not knowing him or his background, he was just another moving part. And, it's just like, and I've been saying this all week. I said, I understand what Michael Jordan felt like being in the triangle. I understand what the late Kobe Bryant felt like being in the triangle. I understand what Steph Curry feels like being in the triangle. The great player doesn't have to change. And the triangle or the West Coast offense in football for us, I didn't have to change. And it fit him perfectly because he had a little stronger arm than Joe Montana. He could fit it in places, but he had the fearlessness of Steve Young, I like to say. And him in that system with his arm really made it work for me.
What did it feel like to catch a ball from Favre?
A lot of people like to think he threw hard, and I didn't. I thought he threw, which allowed me to cheat because I could kind of, once the ball got here, I could kind of turn away and find out where contact was so I can get yards after the catch. But I enjoyed the way Brett threw the football. It looked a little more violent and vicious than it was. He had great rotation. So once it hit your hands, it stuck. Really enjoyed playing with him. I didn't think he threw hard. Some of the other receivers he played with talked about him breaking their fingers. I didn't have that problem. I loved the fact that he threw a firm pass that could allow me to gain yards after the catch.
Sterling Sharpe, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Packer wide receiver. Most surreal moment from the weekend in Canton, Ohio was what?
The Ray Nitschke luncheon where there's only Hall of Famers in the room. That is pretty powerful. That is. I don't know what the apostles felt like being around, but it was kind of like that. It's kind of like, wow, you look around and any era, any decade, any season, and you got one of those guys in there wearing a gold jacket. And that was extremely powerful. There was a couple of guys that I got to meet that I didn't know. Steve Largent, I got to spend some time with him, which was tremendous for me because I really liked how crafty he was and how he parlayed his skill set into being a Pro Football Hall of Famer. That was, I got a chance to spend some time with Mike Singletary, who I played against for 6 years, twice a year in Chicago. Gotten to sit next to him in a couple of get-togethers and meetings and talk. So it was that Nitschke luncheon is it's special, Dan. It really is, and it is.
What was served at the luncheon?
It's humbling. I don't even know if I eat. That's what I'm saying. It is. Once the doors closed and it got quiet, it got really extremely surreal. And the fact that I don't know where I am and I'm not really sure looking around, I'm supposed to be here. But if they haven't noticed me sitting here, then I'm going to just be quiet and not draw attention to myself. I kind of felt like that. It was extremely powerful to be in that room with a tremendous group of football players that I'm finding out are even better men.
You got a moment that would be the highlight if you had a capsule that you were going to keep for grandkids and great-grandkids and say, that's the moment?
Walking to that stage Friday night to receive my gold jacket and to have my little brother standing there in tears. Nobody wanted this for me more than him. Nobody wanted or felt like I should be in the Hall of Fame more than him. He has said publicly many times how he feels about me and how he feels about my career. But taking that walk through those Hall of Famers, hugging and high-fiving them, and then that moment where I got a chance to look up and see his eyes, and he wears glasses, and they were fogged up because he was crying, and the tears were streaming down, and then the embrace that he and I had. It was at that moment that I felt I was a Hall of Famer. That moment, for me, set the stage for what I felt, what I believed, what I saw. Just that moment, which turned out to be a very public moment, but it felt like it was just he and I in the room.
I think your brother's speech helped you immensely getting into the Hall of Fame, if that makes sense, because I think it reminded people of just, maybe people forgot just how great you were. Your brother reminded people about that.
I can't say yes or no, Dan. I will just agree with you because, we've been friends for a long time, and I always agree with everything you say. So I don't know. No one knows the criteria. No one knows how these things are set in motion or what these things do. I'm not going to disagree or argue with you. I'm just like, I was enjoying myself not being a Hall of Famer. And so to get the knock on the door and to find out that my brother's giving me the news was kind of surreal. And, and I've said this before, Dan, I didn't want to be a Hall of Famer. That's not one of the things that when my career ended, I was looking at my wall going, there's a space for a Hall of Fame something, and I need to fill that space. No, I didn't have that. I was extremely proud of playing football. I was extremely proud of the way I played football. And I was, ready to move on with the part of my life that led me to get a chance to work with you. We did some really good work, especially at the Super Bowls, doing the 11 o'clock Sports Center. But that's all I wanted to do was play. And the Hall of Fame came calling, and that was a tremendously wonderful honor that I can't even begin to put in words.
You're one of the most prepared analysts I ever worked with. Might have been the most prepared analyst, that you had so much information. You were giving information to other analysts at the Super Bowl. Don't need to mention any names.
No.
But you had a notebook, and I was like, that is research. So let me, and I miss you as an NFL voice.
Thank you.
Let me make you an analyst just for this moment.
Okay.
How would you be covering, or what would your opinion be of what's going on in Dallas?
I think it's normal. A lot of people would like to believe, oh, God, that's one of your best players, and you're not going anywhere. You're not building anything without him. I agree with that. Michael Parsons is basically saying that the offers you've made are below my standards, and I'm not going to sign it until you bring them up. I believe in him. Contracts are the problem with contracts is either the organization or the player feel that the public sentiment is going to help them get the job done, and it's not. When the spirit hits Jerry Jones, the deal is going to get done, or it's not going to get done. I don't think this is a marriage made in hell. I think something's going to get worked out. I believe they're going to, end up on the same page. But then right now it looks as though the pressure is on Jerry Jones. Well, when this deal is done, the pressure is going to revert back to the player. And then once you see what the player, you can't get hurt. You can't miss meetings. You can't be late. You have to be above reproach. Once this deal is done, that's a lot of pressure to be on playing a game that we love and enjoy. So I think it's going to get worked out. I just think right now, logistically, there's a lot of cap issues that they're trying to negotiate around, and they need time to be able to do it.
Did you lose your voice at the Hall of Fame?
Yes, okay. I did. Okay. The Hall of Fame is it. We did a lot of interviews, and then Saturday night at the party, which you missed, there was cigar smoking and drinking of the Shea by La Portier, my brother's cognac. So, yeah, we almost burned the building down there. Yeah, we did.
Congrats! Great to
thank you.
Great to see you. Glad you survived, and good luck with your golf game. More importantly.
Thank you very much. You know, we're going to be working on it this afternoon.
I know, but would you rather have a green jacket or a gold jacket?
Oh, green.
Wow.
Green.
Okay.
Because, you know, people already knew I played football, but if I had a green jacket winning the Masters, come on, Dan. That in itself would, you know, the green jacket, being a football player, oh yeah, I'd rather have the green jacket than the gold now.
I think I have a better chance of getting a gold jacket than you do a green jacket.
You actually do, by the
way. Thank you, man.
You're very welcome, my friend.
That's Sterling Sharpe, Hall of Fame.